What's up, Breakthrough Success listeners? Mark Bird, the podcasting coach here, helping people to launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts. And one great way to build your online presence is through video marketing. So in this podcast episode, we're going to talk about how do we build trust and generate business with video marketing. And we have a great guest who's going to join us today. She is a photographer, videographer, and author who helps entrepreneurs share their message to make a bigger impact in the world. Our guest teaches how to show up confidently and vulnerably in front of the camera. And our guest who joins us for this episode of Breakthrough Success is none other than Jennie Edwards. Jennie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate it.
Jennie, I'm so happy to have you on Breakthrough Success. And I feel like video marketing is such an important topic. I feel like we have not talked about it in a while, an important topic nevertheless. So I wonder if you could share with us, how do people use video to make business? What does that look like in general?
Well, typically I think people have not sure, what do I say in front of the camera and how do I say it? And sometimes it just feels weird because it's this object that's in front of us to like open up their heart and talk to it. That's totally weird. But when it's done the right way, it's an amazing tool for you to use that is a really great way to build trust, as you mentioned, and also develop relationships with people, because you can share with them, educate them, you can convey your message to a deeper level. And it's something that can work for you like 24/7. So depending on what your industry is, it's something that people could access, remotely, online, at 2 a.m. or whenever they're ready to make a decision about working with you. And that could be an amazing conversion tool.
And I know part of the charm of video is its engagement and is that ability. It's like a salesperson for you, when you're sleeping and stuff, as Jennie mentioned. And that building trust part, I feel like part of that is you just being able to show up authentic on the camera, and being able to do that. Big part of that is just getting comfortable with speaking in front of the camera more often. So how do you suggest we get comfortable with that video creation process?
Well, definitely training it. And you can do that in a way that, something as easy as just getting used to making videos on your iPhone or your smartphone, or doing Facebook Lives. But coming up with the right kind of content so that you can show up authentically too. And you don't sound like a robot talking in front of us with a script, and a teleprompter, but really being you and being authentically you, and helping and nurturing that to really shine through.
Yeah, and I like that. Like practice. And there is a temptation to speak like a robot with the script. One of the things I like to do is just use bullet points. Like, I know what we're supposed to talk about in this episode, but I don't talk like I'm on a script because I don't have a script beyond the intro. So that's one different thing that you can do. A lot of people, I feel like, for people who know how to create video, I feel like a lot of people, they struggle with getting people to see their videos. So what are some tips you have for people who just want visibility?
Yeah, visibility. Well, really, like looking at different platforms, looking at where your target audience hangs out. I mean, if your target audience is, younger people, then you're going to want to show up more like on Instagram, and have stories on there. Or if it's, looking at a different crowd like LinkedIn, obviously different demographics. But there's so many great ways that you can even use it through your text marketing. People are obviously going to be more apt to click on that. Or if you have something like a messenger bot, where people can interact with, and you have some education-based marketing videos that they can access, things like that are really great tools as well. But, things as easy as just, like I mentioned, sending a text to somebody, hey, you might be interested in this, or check this out. This could really help you out today. And then offering some valuable content that makes a difference for them and teaches them something more about what you do to build that relationship.
And I love one thing Jennie said that was really important is that, when I feel like a lot of people think video, they think YouTube. But you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter, you have Live, you got so many other ways of creating video, distributing video. So how can we be active in producing video on all these different platforms? Is there a good tool we can use, a good time, life management hack? Like, what would you say are some good ways to be active on them all?
Well, it's good to, first clarify what's your your priority, because it can lead to like overwhelm, obviously, if you're, I need to post here and here and here and here. And I think it's important as an entrepreneur to delegate that to somebody else that might be willing to step in and help you as well, depending on like what age you are. And you might want to hire, somebody to intern for you, or a teenager, or somebody that would do a lot of posting of your content. But first of all, to get a lot more visibility out there, I always say it's important to, of course, you need to make sure your message is going to land in the viewer's subconscious mind. So that's going to help them build trust and take more action. So that's a service that I offer my clients, as well as getting that direction. So you're not just creating like a whole bunch of random videos that are all over the place, because they don't go away. They stay online and somebody will find it. And so you kind of, need to be aware of that too. You don't want random videos out there, but you want it to be in alignment with your branding.
And that's a really great point, where you can delegate the work, and you should delegate the work, because it is something that can take an entire day to do for a single video. But if you delegate that, that's just more time you have to focus on your zone of brilliance. And also the idea of, don't just post whatever video you think of. Post the videos that have a theme to it. Like if they're connected to a book, if they're connected to a virtual summit, post those types of videos. Because if you're going to spend all the time creating the video, build trust in the right areas. People may trust in you, but if you do a lot of podcasting videos, which is something I do, then they also come to trust you for that topic. So trust for person and trust for topic. So I would say just be a lot more intentional with coming up with video ideas. But even then, coming up with video ideas isn't necessarily easy. So what are some of your thoughts on coming up with the best video ideas?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I like to always have people start with your values, your core values. And if somebody is, let's say they're in an industry where personal development, or they look for people being open to new ideas, people that are coachable, people that are willing to shift their perspective, then they need to look at their core values and make sure that they're conveying stories, of things that they've encountered in their own life that would really, like you mentioned, staying in the theme. So having a video about a specific value that they really hold true, so that is going to magnetically attract the right people who, feel relatable to that value too. Oh, wow, they're just like me. I feel that too. That's so important to me. And then they start knowing you're the right fit to work with them. And then they'll take more action and, give you a call and hire you. So starting with the core values, and then looking at your life in different stories that you could tell that help really bring those values and those words to life.
We have a lot more great content coming up in this episode, but first I want to give a shout out to our sponsor for this episode, Carlos Hidalgo, who was a speaker at the Wealthy Author Summit. His book, The Un-American Dream, talks about how we can find personal and professional happiness and establishing those work-life boundaries. So if you are someone who feels like you're teetering way too much in one direction, you're overworking, you don't have enough time to spend with the people who matter, or you are just not working enough and you don't know how to set those boundaries to say, I have to work on my dreams, then this is going to be an excellent book for you. It's available on Amazon, other places. We will have a link to Carlos's book in the show notes. He was a fantastic speaker on the Wealthy Author Summit. I think you guys will definitely enjoy the book, so link will be there. Anyways, let's get right back into the episode. I like the relatability piece. I feel like that's something that maybe people underestimate or they don't know how to do. But if you make yourself more, people buy from people they know, like, and trust, but people also buy from people that they feel like you're just like them. So if you have that relatability piece in there, that's going to be really big. And you mentioned how videos, you could get people on a call, you get people to buy your thing. How do you make that call to action in the video? Is it just like strictly something you say at the end, or are you mentioning it somewhere in the beginning and middle?
Well, you can definitely plant seeds throughout. It depends how long your video is. One of the things that I teach is about the hero's journey formula. Are you familiar with the hero's journey, Mark?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a popular Hollywood movie kind of framework for when the hero goes on a quest and has this transformation, and then there's the pit, like the worst part, and then they have this, rebirth, and they're never the same again, and they've grown and they've gotten stronger and they've transformed and become a whole new version of them. And now if you can relate that to your own story of your own personal transformation, then people can start seeing you as the expert. And wow, he's gone through that. I should work with him. Like he knows what I'm about because he's gone through it and I'm going through that. So I need help with this, whatever the problem is that they need the solution that only you can offer them. So by using this as like a sales process, it's a really great way to, not only have the call to action be like at the very end, you call me up and make an appointment, but something that you can continue to build on that develops a deeper level of commitment with your viewer.
And again, I like the idea how, the amount of times you say it can depend on how long the video is, and just find ways to insert it in when appropriate. Because, like, for instance, me saying I'm a podcast coach kind of paints it in mind. And the call to action, book a strategy call with me. But you're conditioning people to know what it is that you offer. And even if you condition, like, maybe like, hey, like, get the strategy call with me or something like that, that's going to better position you to actually get engagement and people to take action on your videos, which I feel like a lot of people miss out on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you never know what if they get distracted and they never make it to the end of the video? They might miss out on the call to action.
And also, like, people know what to expect at the end. Like, people know when they're going to get a call to action at the end, because we've seen it so many times that we're kind of conditioned to know, here comes the call to action. Here comes the buy my dinghy. But weaving it around, as Jennie says, that's a very good technique to get more engagement for your video, but get the type of engagement that you want, because we all want likes and comments in our videos. But the thing that's more valuable to us is being able to say, like, hey, this video I did, I got a coaching client from it. And that's the more value.
Yeah, monetization.
Yeah. And I feel like on this thought of monetization, I feel like when a lot of people think of making money with videos, they think YouTube and they think AdSense, which is a fine model if you have a ton of subscribers and a ton of views. So I'm wondering, in your perspective, what do you believe works best from a video monetization standpoint?
Well, there's lots of different ways that you could use the videos to really elevate your brand. And, sometimes people use it as different parts of their funnel. So you could create a video that's like a lead magnet that you could get people opt in for your list, as if you're building your list. And you could add some kind of valuable content for that. So you could use it as an easy thing, or you could develop a program. It just depends how robust you want to go. You could create a whole online program with different modules, different education-based marketing. There's a lot of great ways that you can use video to elevate and monetize.
Yeah, there's just so many different ways, and even building that relationship. Jennie brought a good point, like incorporating in your funnel. So it could be like, we hear a lot about PLC, pre-launch content. So like if you've ever seen someone say give you one video, another video, and then into the sale, That's a very popular strategy people use, and a lot of it is fueled by video and building that engagement and that relationship. So definitely really great tactic there. And another great tactic that I would recommend for using video marketing, being able to be successful there, the great tactic I would recommend is to just follow Jennie and check out her work. And I think, Jennie, at this point, just share with us some places we can find you. I know you've got some coaching services, so maybe if you talk a little bit about some places we could find you and learn more.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I would love to gift your listeners today a 30-minute monetization blueprint, which is a Zoom call that we would do together. And you can actually go to my site, which is yourdynamicstory.com/schedule. And we can set up a time together to chat. And this is really valuable because you can let me know, like, what's your industry? What are you currently doing? And I am going to teach you some different ways that you can build trust and monetize your message related to your specific industry. And you can also check out some other tools and samples on my website, yourdynamicstory.com.
Well, Jennie, we'll make sure we include those links in the show notes for anyone who's interested in going to your site or booking a call with you. But once again, thank you so much for coming on Breakthrough Success. It was such a pleasure having you on the show.